Hey guys, it's LegoMatic9, and today I'm doing the very long-awaited Part 11 of my custom LEGO The Walking Dead minifigures. So today I have 5 brand new minifigures to show you guys. So first up we have Rick Grimes in his constable uniform from Alexandria. I have a new version of Abraham Ford back here just because I thought he needed an update. I have the hospital outfit for Beth Greene. A lot of people were asking to see a figure of her after the mid-season finale. Then I actually have 2 throwback figures, which are just revamps of my older figures that I felt they needed a change. So I have Merle Dixon over here, and then I have the governor over here. So these are just 2 figures that I really thought needed an update. So without further ado, let's jump into the close-up on these minifigures.
Your way's gonna destroy this place. It's gonna get people killed. It's already gotten people killed. And I'm not gonna stand by and just let it happen.
So we're going to start out with Rick Grimes in his constable uniform from the Alexandria safe zone. So a lot of you guys were asking for this figure, so I decided to go ahead and make him before I make the season finale version of Rick for myself, because I am making it for the giveaway, but I'm also making one for myself. So, starting off with his gun, he is armed with Carol's pistol. It's just the same version I had on my Carol figure. It's just a snub-nosed revolver. So I decided to give that to him since he used that in one of the episodes. I'm just going to take that out of his hand. So this Rick isn't my favorite version of Rick that I made. I'm not really particularly happy with the way the undershirt came out. It's kind of weird looking. I'm not really liking the tie of it, but I just wanted to get this figure out quickly so I could focus on the season finale version, which is a lot better than this. So starting off, Rick just has some jeans there, some dark blue legs, and he's got black shoes painted on. I think it's actually a really dark brown. It's just a dark brown with some black added in there, so it's a really, really dark brown color. His torso has this kind of lightish blue-gray. I actually had to mix that color, and it's got that undershirt on there with the navy blue tie. He's got the dark gray track jacket on there, or windbreaker, if you want to say that. I think that's what it's actually called, the windbreaker. He's got his little badge right there. He's got a belt buckle down there, which has those 2 prongs on the belt. And then the shoulders have the Alexandria, I guess, constable logo on it. So both shoulders have that. His face is a completely modified Obi-Wan Kenobi face. It's the same version that I used for my other Ricks, and all I did was I erased everything except for the eyes. I kept the eyes, and what I did is I repainted on the mouth, painted on some cheekbones, painted on some wrinkles, and also added some wrinkles under his eyes there, and I repainted the eyebrows. His hairpiece is like a slicked back Hawkeye hairpiece, which I then painted a dark brown color because as soon as he got into Alexandria, he shaved his beard and got a haircut. So I decided to give him a little bit shorter hair. So this is one reason why I'm not really fond of this version of Rick is because he doesn't have his longer hair and he doesn't have a beard. But I like how it came out. I'm using this kind of face design for the giveaway Rick. So you guys can look forward to that. So that is pretty much it. Come on. Oh, this pistol does not want to go in his hand. There we go. So that is pretty much it for this version of Rick Grimes.
I get it now.
Next up, we have the very highly requested version of Beth Greene in her hospital scrubs uniform from the beginning half of Season 5. So a lot of people were really wanting to see this figure, so I decided to go ahead and make her because she was wearing this outfit for a long time in the beginning of Season 5. So she's armed with a Brick Arms Colt 1911 pistol, which has the ejection port painted a matte brown to make it kind of stand out. So she didn't really use weapons in that, and I didn't really have a small enough thing to make a pair of scissors, so I decided just to give her this pistol because this is the same model of pistol I put on my Dawn figure, so I figured why not just do that. But I'm going to take that out of her hand now. So this figure wasn't really all that challenging to make, just the main challenge with it was matching the Lego sand blue color, which is the color of the legs. And I had to match that color by mixing a whole bunch of different paints, and I think I nailed it. Like, these colors are spot on. The sleeve color and the torso color, all that's painted on there. They're not official Lego parts. I actually had to paint those on there. So making that color was quite a big challenge, and I'm really happy with the outcome. So her legs there, they're just the standard sand blue color with a whole bunch of blood smeared all over it. And she's got her Converse shoes on there. You've got the white and the dark gray. And some of you may be wondering, why is she covered in so much blood? But this is an outfit that I chose to make after her and Noah tried escaping Grady Memorial Hospital. It's like when they're in the elevator shaft, they were laying on a whole bunch of dead walkers, so she got covered in blood. And I really like how it came out, because I think just standard clean hospital scrubs would have been kind of boring, so I really like this this version with the blood a lot better. So her torso is an aerolite curved torso. That's why it has those curves on there. It's made for female minifigures if you want to have those on there. So this is from Aerolite. I will put a link in the description below to Aerolite if you are interested in purchasing a torso like this to make your own female minifigures. So again, everything was painted on there that is blue, and then I painted on the pockets, the wrinkles, and then I smothered the torso in blood. I think it looks awesome. I'm really loving the smears on there. Then her arms were just flesh arms. Then I painted on the sleeves, painted some blood onto there. And then I actually had to sculpt her cast onto this arm because she did damage her wrist. So I did sculpt that on there using green stuff, and then I painted it white, kind of washed it in a dark gray to give it kind of like a dirtier, sweatier look, and then I painted some red on there too to make it look a little bloody. Then she's got some blood smeared on her back, because if she was laying on walkers, she'd have some blood on her back. Her face is, I think it's a different version from the one I used on my first Beth Greene, but is the one I actually have on that version currently, because I like this one a lot better, and I painted on the little scratch she has up on her face as well. Her hairpiece is just a standard ponytail painted in tan and then kind of washed in a lighter nutmeg brown color, and I think it looks pretty awesome. So I really hope all of you who were really wanting to see this figure do like her. I am actually really happy that I made her. She looks very awesome alongside all of my other figures. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this version of Beth Greene.
There's a vast ocean of shit that you people don't know shit about.
So Abraham Ford wasn't really a character I was planning on remaking for quite some time. I was actually planning on remaking him, Eugene, and Rosita for the same part, but after looking at my current version, or my previous version, I decided it was time for an update, a much needed update. So actually, I remade his torso into this gray tank top quite a while ago. I actually had that done for some time, but then I recently looked at him and I was just like, he really needs an update. So what I did is I ordered a head from Bricklink, which you guys saw the unboxing for that. I don't really know if I don't think I even said what it was for, but it was just a head with some stubble and a mustache on there, and I completely just erased all that off and repainted on a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'll get into that a little later. So Abraham here is armed with his M16, which is a Brick Arms M16 that I weathered it down with some silver paint, which looks pretty awesome. I'm going to take that out of his hand. And then he has a minifig cat, Desert Eagle, which I really wish he would use this a little more, because Desert Eagles would, depending on the caliber that it is, could be a 44 or a 50 cal, even that. He could be using that for really destroying some zombie heads, but he used that in the second half of Season 4, but he hasn't really used it since. I don't really know where it is, if he left it at Terminus, or he just never ever used it again. I don't even know, but I'm just going to take that out of his hand. So yeah. So moving on to the legs here, what it is, I just took some tan legs and I painted on a tricolored camouflage on there with some little bit lighter tan and then some brown. Then I painted on the boots in black. Then he has a painted on black belt with silver buckle painted onto the waist, and then he has his pistol holster belt that overlaps that belt and then continues on to his leg, and then the holster is painted on the side there, has a gold cross painted on there. and then the belt and everything continues on to the back as well as to this side. So his torso is just, well, it was just a dark gray torso, and then I brassered off the printing on one side. Then I painted on the black in the flesh to signify that it was a tank top, and I painted that all the way around to the back as well. And then this entire the entire torso is kind of weathered in a I think I have red in there. I've got dark red on there and some lightish and dark brown. So I think that looks pretty cool. His face was that stubble head with mustache and everything like that, but then I erased all that junk and painted on some cheekbones, painted on his eyebrows, painted on his mustache, and painted on his mouth. So I think it looks pretty cool. His mouth may be a little long, so I might go back and redo that, but I'm fine with it right now. Then his hairpiece is the same hairpiece, just unmodified like this one is. It's just that Terminator buzz cut, painted a brownish orange color. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is that on his wrist here, I actually kept the dog tags from my previous version. He actually wears his dog tags on his wrist there, so it's got the dog tags and the brown strap. So I think that looks pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and give him his weapons back. So Abraham is one of my favorite characters in The Walking Dead. I'm really excited to see more of him in Season 6. Yeah, so that is pretty much it for Sergeant Abraham Ford.
Go through the fence. In your cars, get your guns. We go in. Kill them all.
So now we're going into the throwback figures that I included with this video. So first up we have the Governor, who in my opinion is one of the best characters that The Walking Dead has had on their show. I really like this character, and after seeing him in the second half of Season 5, seeing him in the premiere as a flashback was really awesome, and that's why I started to make this figure. Plus, this version is very bad. If you look at this, this has crap lines, gloss paint painted on there, really bad belt. Overall, is a really bad figure. So, I'm not fond of that one at all, so then I went ahead and made this one. So this is in the outfit when he attacks the prison in Too Far Gone. It's my favorite outfit that he has worn, so I wanted to make him in that. So he's armed, one, with his signature AUG rifle, which looks awesome. It is a Brick Arms version that is heavily modified. What it is, I trimmed off the flashlight that was right here, and then I cut off the scope right there, and then I filed down the raised up part, so now it more looks like that Steyr, the Steyr AUG. So it looks really awesome. Then I painted it in that cool color, that cool green. So I'm going to take that out of his hand real quick, and then he also has his other signature weapon, his chrome M9, which is actually just a black M9 painted silver. So I'm going to take that off as well. So I really do like how this figure came out. He's one of my better figures that I actually have made. So starting off, he's got some black legs there that have been weathered down with some light brown and dark brown, kind of giving him a dirty look. And he's got some dark brown shoes painted on there. His torso, I was originally just going to use the standard dark blue torso, but then I was like, you know, it looks more black, so I mixed up this dark blue color, this kind of, this really dark blue color, and painted that just the front of the torso and the top of the torso, since he has a coat over that. So his torso there, you can see it's got the buttons and the collars and everything. It's got some wrinkles. If you fold back this, you can see it's got some wrinkles down at the bottom, some weathering and stuff. So it looks pretty nice. I really like how that came out. Then I actually used a Cape Madness, my last Cape Madness trench coat, to make his coat that he was wearing. I didn't really feel like painting it on, and some inspiration for this goes to my buddy Dylan, or the Moose Figs. He did make a version of the Governor, but it was in the outfit where he went and burnt down Woodbury in Season 4 when the Governor first was reintroduced. So he made that version with the trench coat, so I decided, hey, what if I apply that trench coat idea to this figure? So I really like how it came out. It's just a modified Cape Madness trench coat, which I then painted a this dark gray color And then you can see right here I painted on the buttons, and I painted on the pockets and the designs. This side also has a pocket, some of those designs, and the back has these folds in there as well. Then his arms were just painted that dark gray color, and it's got some blood splatter on there, which looks really nice. His face is actually an Aquaman head. I had this head sitting around, I had my Aquaman figure just sitting around, and I was like, I'm going to use that head someday. And I looked at it, and I was like, I'm going to try something. So I painted an eye patch on it, repainted the eyebrow, and stuck this hairpiece on there. I was like, that actually works. So what I did is I painted the eye patch on there, which you can kind of see the design painted in there. You can kind of see the reflection right there. It does have that design that he had with this kind of the stitching on it, so it's kind of hard to see because it's really small, but if you check my Flickr in the next few days or weeks whenever I post this figure, it should probably have a close-up of his eye patch on there. He's got the eyebrow painted on there. Then the hairpiece, I just took my brown hairpiece off of my Saul Goodman and replaced it with another one. And I got this one painted on the strap for the eye patch and painted on his light brown sideburns. So as you can see, that strap goes all the way around his hair. And yeah, so that is pretty much it for my updated version of the Governor.
You gotta play the hand you're dealt. Only got one.
So last but definitely not least is my throwback version of Merle Dixon. So just like the Governor and Abraham, I was looking at my old figures, just looking at them sitting on my display, and I looked at Merle, and I was just like, his character was really good, and I want to make a good figure for him, and this right here just was not cutting it. So you guys can just see the comparison between those. I don't like the I really don't like the old version, so I went ahead and I made a completely new figure, which I really like. So Merle is armed with a brick arms overmolded 1911 with the ejection port painted silver. So I'm going to take that out. And then he also has his knife hand, of course. So I really like how this came out. It's a new design, other like the other one. The unfortunate thing is that it does kind of chip off paint there, but this design is a lot different from the previous design, which is this. So this one's a lot shorter, it's more compact, it's not as ugly, but it can't be removed from the hand, so I just glued it on there and it looks a lot better. So this is made from the same part that this one was. It was a Brick Arms Lewis gun, and what I did is I just chopped the large barrel off of that, sanded it down, glued it onto his arm, and painted it. And it works. Just like the last one, it worked. So if you want to watch the tutorial on my Merle knife hand, that's from like a few years ago, so you guys can go check that out on my channel. But this has the brown straps painted on there. It's got a Brick Arms bayonet glued on there. So it overall came out really nice. So his legs are just some standard dark tan legs with some brown boots on there. He's got a tiny tactical cargo pocket glued on there. His torso is just a white torso with a black jacket painted over that, which has some pockets, the collars, and everything painted on there. His white shirt does extend over. It's part of it's kind of tucked into his belt, and part of it's just hanging off over his belt. The white shirt was also kind of washed with a dark gray color. It's also got some dark brown in there as well. Moving on to the arms, what I did with these is he has rolled up sleeves, so I decided to sculpt the rolled up sleeves on there rather than use electrical tape, because electrical tape doesn't really cut it anymore. So I decided to just sculpt those on there, and those turned out pretty nice. Now his face was a big challenge because a lot of you guys liked my Yondu that I made last year from Guardians of the Galaxy, and I was trying to recreate that face, but the face I used for that was on a yellow head, so I was kind of just like, alright, that's going to be kind of hard to replicate. So what it is, I kind of just free did it. Like I wasn't really looking off of that one anymore, just paying attention to Michael Rooker. So I kind of like this. I'm not really sold on it yet, but I think it works right now at least. So what he has the stubble painted on there, and I actually washed that with a dark gray color, so it kind of has that presence of that 5 o'clock shadow underneath it, and it just looks a lot better. Repainted his mouth on there, painted his eyebrows on there, and painted some wrinkles on the side of his eyes and then underneath them to make him look like he was kind of squinting. Then I was planning on sculpting the hairpiece, but I decided against it because his hair would be pretty hard to sculpt, and I didn't really feel like doing that. So I just gave him the same hairpiece that I had on the older version, but painted it a darker brown. Well, not brown, that's gray. I'm colorblind today. That is dark gray. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the new version of Merle Dixon. Alright guys, that is pretty much it for part 11 for my custom LEGO The Walking Dead minifigures. Like always, please leave a comment below telling me which figures you'd like to see in the next part. Kind of a roster that I have lined up are Deanna, Morgan, Rick in his Conquer outfit, and Aaron, and I forget who the last one was. Maybe Noah, I'm not sure yet. I know I was saving Eugene and Rosita for another part. Shane was on my list to redo. Who else was it? Trying to remember. I don't know if I'll make Eric until later on. Probably not Reg or Pete. Or, I don't know. I'm not sure yet. So maybe fill in that fourth spot. No, fifth. There we go. Fifth spot. And, as a little treat. Look at that. Figures. I've got Giveaway Rick over here in the process of being made. He's turning out really awesome. Then I got Morgan over here who's 100% done. So really liking those guys so far. I'll hopefully have Giveaway Rick done by the end of this weekend, or hopefully in time for next Friday to post a video of him. Oh, next Friday's Age of Ultron premiere. Neat. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, leave a comment below telling me which figures you'd like to see next. And if you haven't already, please check out my Google+, Flickr, Facebook, and Twitter accounts, because I try to post those as regularly as possible. Not really Google+, because no one ever uses that. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are wanting to do that. And thank you all for watching. See you guys later.